When I was in second grade, I was diagnosed with the flu, which is a pretty common illness. About a week after I was diagnosed, my mom took me to the doctor to ensure that my condition was improving. When we arrived at the doctor's office, they discovered that my body was going into septic shock. My body was starting to shut down. I did not know what to do or how to fight off what was happening. On January 19th, 2011, I was admitted into St. Francis Hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After I got to the hospital, I remember seeing doctors and nurses everywhere I looked, poking, prodding, and working their hardest to save my life. Soon after I was admitted, I was intubated and put into a medically induced coma. One of the last things I remember before I went under was the overwhelming desire for stillness. I longed for everything to slow down, and I just wanted to go home. My parents were informed that night that the chances of me making it through to the next day were slim. At just 8 years old, my whole family had to say what they thought was their last goodbye to me. As you can see, I'm alive today, so that was not their last goodbye, which is a miracle. After my body went through such a traumatic experience, it took me about a month to regain enough strength to go back to school again. In third grade, I was diagnosed with bronchiectasis, which is a lung disease similar to cystic fibrosis in which my bronchioles are enlarged, damaged, and I have an excess of mucus. Because of my lung disease, I'm continually suffering from lung infections and other illnesses. In response to all these events, I started to pity myself. I felt like the world was against me, that everybody who saw what I was going through thought I was just a charity case, that the only thing that defined me was that I almost died. Instead of looking at everything that God had done to bless me and my family, I started looking at everything that was going wrong in my life. I started to think that my life was harder than anybody else's around me. I started to become sad and moody all the time. My family tolerated my moodiness because they had almost lost me, but the truth is, I was a brat. It was not until my relationship with Christ improved until I realized how much a negative mindset affected my mental health. My moods and how I treated people were not the only thing that were affected by this pessimistic thinking. I was genuinely sad each and every day, and I lacked the motivation to get through the day. Negative thinking is our brain's first reaction when something goes wrong. According to Psychology Today, our brains react more to negative thinking than to positive or even neutral thinking. Negative thinking promotes depression, anxiety, anger, stress, and fear. Negative thinking also causes us to be unable to think clearly and hinders our ability to process information. A simple mindset can affect how your day or even your life will go. If you think positively all day, you'll have a good day. On the other hand, if you think negatively all day, you'll have a bad day. Close your eyes. I know some of you might think this is weird, but just do it. Imagine this. You have a big test coming up. You've studied the material, but a week before your test, your teacher informs you that you also have a one-page timed essay that is part of your exam. Your brain's first reaction is to think negatively. You start to get stressed out. Your breathing starts to quicken. You think, I'm going to fail this test. But instead of going through all that stress and worry, you could think, this is definitely a surprise, but I'm going to work my hardest to get the A that I deserve. Now open your eyes. Doesn't that help? If this had actually happened and you would have thought positively instead of negatively, you could have turned a stressful situation into a situation that can be changed and handled for the better. According to a Mayo Clinic study on positive thinking can help lower rates of depression, increase your lifespan, and can better your psychological and physical well-being. Positive thinking can help people who suffer from anxiety, depression, and other diseases, both mental and physical. Optimistic thinking can help you live a happier, more fulfilled life. So how can you start thinking positively? One of the most important steps to start thinking positively is to avoid thinking negatively about yourself. Thinking negatively about yourself does nothing beneficial for you. It only hinders your mental health and worsens your outlook on life. Another step to thinking positively is to start your day off with a positive thought. The way your day starts often determines the way the rest of your day will go. The next way to start thinking positively is to always look on the bright side. No matter how cheesy it sounds, looking on the bright side can help you make a stressful situation into a situation that can be handled and changed for the better. reframe your situations. If you're looking at everything that's gone wrong, frame your day around something that has gone right. Another way to start thinking positively is to find people who hold you accountable and encourage you to stay the course. These people should also have optimistic thinking as a priority. In doing this, you have someone taking on the same challenge of positive thinking as you. The last step to positive thinking is to keep practicing. No matter how hard it might be to keep those negative thoughts out, replace them with positive truths, statements that will help drive out the pessimistic thoughts. Positive thinking is not going to be easy. It takes commitment. But if we all take on the challenge of positive thinking, we will help to improve not only our own physical and mental health, but our communities and the world. As I'm closing, let's repeat some positive statements together. Repeat after me. I have a purpose. Whatever happens today, good or bad, I can handle it. I am loved. Some of you might not believe this last statement, but I'm here to tell you that you are loved. No matter what you tell yourself or think, you are loved. I want to encourage each and every one of you to text 3 people and remind them that they are loved. Thank you.